Thank you, Shannon. Welcome to the Fat Cat Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. And now you're a pro?
Yeah, still feels like super unreal.
Yeah?
Even saying that.
So it hasn't settled in yet.
Sort of. Officially changed the Instagram now to IFBB Pro, so I think things are getting real.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So now what's your plans or your goals going forward now?
So we haven't chosen a show as yet, but definitely next year we're looking at doing a pro show, an Olympia qualifier, and obviously making it to the Olympia is the goal.
Nice.
As is everybody's goal, I think, going into this. So yeah,
Okay, cool.
yes,
Now, talk us through this now. Okay, show day. All right. Because
yes.
you went into this prep with no expectations of getting this pro card, right?
Obviously, that was the goal, but I didn't. I've never done NPC before, so um, I feel like I was very humble about it, and I didn't hold myself to that expectation of getting it, but it was the goal. But yeah, I think I didn't believe in myself enough
Yeah.
to actually achieve it. So I surprised myself. TD believed in me the entire time, and he has believed in me this whole time. But I think for myself, I didn't see myself there as yet. I had to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I must say you honestly brought it. I think you surprised everybody. I think you were the
Surprised myself.
you're the dark horse in this because like when I was chatting to Dominique, I was saying the exact same thing. Like we've seen the conditioning that you've brought for when you were still in IFBB, the Elite Pro Federation, and you just I guess nobody expects you to bring the level of conditioning you brought. Like I think we we're all like, what the fuck? Like
Even
yeah,
myself, looking at myself on show day, like, whoa, doing those, even the photos like on peak week,
yeah,
like I was like, wow, this is me actually. Damn, I can do this. I can win. Seeing, but leading up, I think that's the thing that the conditioning only comes in right at the end.
yeah,
So leading up to it, I was like, oh, maybe let's see. And also, I think, yeah, I didn't know what to expect on show day. You never know what your competition is going to be like either. Um, and I knew Dominique was going to do it as well, so I was a little bit worried about her as well because she hadn't posted any pictures, so
yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. So yeah, I didn't know what to expect on show day. So it was very exciting, you
Was
know.
she the person you were worried about the most?
I think so, to be honest, because she obviously was coming for the pro card last year, and she came second last year. Um, and also, I know she was watching me on Instagram. I
Yeah,
was watching her too, and yeah, I know she was doing her homework because she posted a video saying that she hadn't trained upper body for like a year. So she was obviously whatever feedback the judges had given her, she was applying it. And obviously she hadn't posted any physique updates. So I was worried about her, to be honest. I feel like she was my biggest competition coming into the show.
okay, all right. Now, what did you guys do? Did you guys do anything different from how you prep for previous shows?
I think, living with my coach and him being my partner, um, he helped me stay super focused. And this prep, I gave my absolute everything. I was more focused on this prep than I've been for any other show,
Okay,
any other prep. And I just gave it my absolute everything.
okay. I don't know how early you guys start your preps. Did you guys start earlier or did you just keep the same?
We started at like 24 weeks out.
And where would you normally start?
Normally, I'd start like 15, 16 weeks out.
Okay,
So
all right.
we really, even from coming out of Worlds in 2022, we decided, this is the show we want to do. We want to go for the pro card. So that was 2 years out, from the end of 2022, we started focusing on the show already, knowing that we wanted to do this show. We wanted to come for a pro card. And even back then, I started posing already. I was practicing my posing from end of 2022, trying to get things right and trying to build a little bit more because we obviously knew we had to gain some size on the lower body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was 2 years in the making for the show.
Nice. That's actually a big long plan. Like
It is a big, long plan.
you find like a lot of people won't actually plan like that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
you actually took time, sat back, discussed it with your coach, and was like, you know what, this is what I want. I know it's going to take time. most people won't say. Like, I don't think most people can actually stay away from a stage that long enough.
It was hard. I missed being on stage. 2023, it was hard to be away from stage, but having athletes that I was coaching as
Mm.
well, I got to kind of live through show day through them.
Yeah,
So helping them backstage, just being backstage, being part of show day, it was enough for me, like to keep that passion alive. Every time just smelling the tan brings back all
yeah,
those exciting show day feelings. It was it was still exciting. I still
yeah.
got to enjoy the show day and enjoy competing through them. So that made it worthwhile for me.
Okay. And did you have any cheat meals during this prep?
Yes, we had, I wouldn't call them cheat meals as such, it was more refeed meals. So it
Refeeds,
was
okay.
strategic meals to see what my body responded to so that we knew the day before the show what that refeed meal would be and how my body would respond best and
Okay,
how I
sure.
would peak best.
Okay, just for the audience out there that don't understand like how the bodybuilding world works, and whatnot, can you explain to them like how the refeeds worked for you specifically? Like, how did you guys structure them or plan them? Like, was it a thing of like, okay, this is what your pictures look like, so maybe the Thursday let's do this. If you could just explain for the audience that are outside of the bodybuilding world.
Okay, so a refeed meal, generally before a show, the night before, you'll have a refeed meal that is generally something quite dense to fill your body up that goes straight to the muscles.
Yeah.
So we experimented with a few different things. We tried burgers. We tried, I can't remember what else we tried. What else did we try? Steaks. Besides steak, yeah, we ended up going with the steak, cheese, and potatoes,
Yeah.
um, which was so good. I loved it every time we had it. But we tried the burgers as well. My body didn't respond as well to a burger. We tried a few different things, but we ended up sticking to the steak, potatoes, and cheese, and a
Okay.
glass of wine.
And did you guys ever do this in previous preps before, or was this something new that you guys decided we're going to try for this?
No, normally I would have it's normally the same meal,
Okay.
the steak, potatoes, and cheese. We tried a pizza. I think it was World Champs 2022, because also being overseas, your options are limited,
Yeah.
when you're staying at the hotel. And we wanted to do a steak, but there was no steak at the hotel. So we ended up having a pizza, and it was meant to be a thin based pizza, but ended up being a thick based pizza because you had to have what was available there. And yeah, I wasn't happy with that show at all. That's why I don't post much pictures from my world champs. Um, and it just didn't work well with my body. So,
I presume with the thick base, during prep when you're tired and your jaws and I'm tired from training and
yes,
everything. You can imagine,
it
yeah.
was good though. Anything's better than fish at that point,
Yeah,
you know?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. So just for the audience out there, right? So you woke up what time? Let's say show day now. That was Sunday morning. You woke up.
Yes, I woke up. So my makeup was at booked for 5 a.m. I woke up at about 4:30 to make sure that I think we did check-ins before the makeup, just some posing check-ins, and then again after the makeup, after meal one. So yeah, I was up at 4:30 on show day, and it was a long day.
Okay. And then just talk us through what happened. So from having this meal, did you have the meal before you went for your makeup?
No, after.
Okay. So,
So yeah, 4:30 we woke up. We did check-in with posing, and then I did my makeup from 5 a.m. Did hair as well. I think we were done around 6, 6:30. I can't remember. And then we prepared meal one, which was two whole eggs, two egg whites, I think. I can't remember the amount of eggs. Oats, whey protein, peanut butter, and I blended it all to make a pancake. It tastes so good.
I'm hungry just listening to
Oh,
this.
I know, it was so good. And then after that, we did another check-in. Those are the pictures I actually posted this morning. And we were very, very happy with how we looked. And then after that, TD took TK to the venue because he was doing men's physique, which was the first lineup for the day. And then I stayed at the accommodation with Alicia. And yeah, we only had to be at the venue for at around 10, 11 for our top coat of tan. So we just spent the morning preparing our food for the day, packing our show day bags, and it was relaxed. It was a chilled morning. There was no rush at all.
Was there, when did the nerves start? Did you have nerves from the morning or did it only start hitting you later in the
I
day?
wouldn't even say it was nerves, it was excitement.
Okay.
I was so excited just to be on stage again because I love show day. I love being on stage. I really, really enjoy it. So even just from the day before doing the base tan, just the smell of that tan, and actually the fact that it was for me now and
Yeah.
not my athletes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so excited. I was just like smiling already, just getting the base tan done. It was so exciting. I wasn't nervous at all, just excited.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What made you get into bodybuilding?
Um, I've always loved the gym. I've always been into sports, into fitness. And I remember from a young age just wanting to join a gym. I just thought gyms looked so fascinating. All these machines, it looked so exciting. And I used to ask my parents, please, can I join a gym? But obviously, there was an age limit on the gym. You had to be 16 years old. So as soon as I turned 16, I remember joining the gym. And yeah, from there I was hooked. And then I saw all these bodybuilders on the walls, all these pictures, and I used to buy. I don't know if you guys remember the fitness mag
Yes, yes,
before. This was before social media and
yes.
stuff. And at the back, they used to have all the local athletes from all the winners from all the local shows. And I used to follow all these people from way back then. That's when like it was old bodybuilding posing, all like the old bikini posing where they push the hip forward. And I was like, I want to do this one
Yeah.
day. You know, I didn't know how. I didn't know anything about coaching, anything about bodybuilding. I just knew I wanted to do this at some point. So yeah, from then I was like, I got to do this at some point.
Okay. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Durban,
Okay.
and then I moved to the South Coast when I was 16, and I moved back when I was 26. So I was there for about 10 years, and I was at a small gym there called Super Bodies. So I spent more than 10 years there. I started training there, and then I started working there when I was 20 years old. Yeah, from there, I've just been into fitness. I don't think I would ever go into any other career at this point.
Okay. And when you were living down the coast, was bodybuilding as big as it is like here in Durban?
No, it was very small. There was only like two people when I first started gymming that were competing in the gym. And I remember I used to look up to them. I used to be like, oh my word, these people, look how fit they are,
Yeah.
look how strong they are. And then, yeah, then TD competed. I think it was 2019. And I was friends with him at the time. And I thought the whole process was just so fascinating. I was just so fascinated by prep, by competing, by bodybuilding. And I just
Yeah.
knew I love this. This is what I want to do. Mm.
Okay. Awesome. And when you decided, okay, now I'm going to actually start competing, and you chose a show, did you have an idea of what division you were going to go into?
I didn't know about wellness at first, to be
Okay.
honest. I wanted to do bikini, and I approached one of the coaches and told them like I'd love to compete. I want to do fitness bikini, and they told me actually that wellness would be better suited to my body. And that was the
Okay.
first time of me hearing about wellness. And then the more research I did about it, I was like, okay, this looks cool. I think this is what I want to do, because they told me that if I wanted to do bikini, I'd have to break down my legs. And I wasn't willing to do that. I wanted to rather work with my body and use my genetics that I have naturally and just enhance that instead of forcing my body into a division that it's not meant for, you know?
Yeah. And like honestly, would you have been happy if you had to do that though?
What, fitness bikini?
Yeah. Like if you had to like break down the muscle to go into that kind of
I
division.
would have done anything just to
Oh
step on
really, eh?
stage.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
If there
Okay.
was no wellness, I would have done what I had to do just to have the experience of competing.
Okay. And before bodybuilding, were you into any sports at all when you were in school?
Yes, I did swimming, I did life saving or nippers for a bit. Um,
Was it
and
nippers
yeah,
and toti?
no, it was in Umhlanga. I used to at
Okay.
Umhlanga
Okay.
surf, yeah.
All right.
And I
Okay.
even went to SA Champs for that. And I placed eighth in one of the categories, one of the divisions. I can't remember what it was. But for me, that was a big thing at the time. And that was exciting, yeah.
Okay. Cool. So sorry. So back to the sports since we were
Yes.
swimming.
Yes, swimming, I was always first team swimming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Was that the only sport you did?
Um, I did dancing as well for, I did like a few team sports, but I felt like I excelled better in individual sports. So
Yeah.
like athletics, I did really well. And then yeah, dancing. I did dancing from the age of 5 up till like I think I was 12, 13 when I stopped. And I think that's where my love of the stage came from. And that's also what benefits me now as a bodybuilder with my posing, because I've been on stage. I've done so many shows. I've performed so many times. So that really helps me with my stage
Yeah.
presence and my confidence on stage.
Okay. Why did you stop the dancing?
Because school was getting a bit hectic at the time. I was
Yeah.
going into high school and I needed to focus. And also, I think I'd lost the passion for it at the
Okay.
time, you know?
Okay. What work do you do?
I'm a personal trainer and a coach as well.
Okay. Is this something you always wanted to be?
No, actually, when I was younger, I wanted to be a fashion designer at a point. I've always been into style and
Yeah.
fashion and stuff. And then as I got older, I actually wanted to be a paramedic. And then I realized I actually can't deal with blood. And then, yeah, I actually got into fitness. I got offered the job of admin um, in our gym on the South Coast. Um, and I would have loved to work at a gym at the time, but I never thought I'd have the opportunity to work in the gym. And I've always been very shy, very introverted. I never even thought I'd be able to be a personal trainer. That's how shy I was. I couldn't even talk to people. Um, but working in the gym helped me come out my shell. I grew so much confidence. I used to do like classes when I was just a gym instructor. I used to do classes for the older ladies at the gym. I used to call them like the go-go classes.
Yeah.
So there's all the go-go's that used to come and do the classes. And that's how I started getting into classes and like teaching people how to exercise and um, speaking to groups of people. Because, like I said, I was always painfully shy. And then yeah, from there, I studied personal training. And yeah, you can ask TD. I used to plan all my workouts on my notes app on my phone and have all my workouts strategically planned for my clients to the point where now I just, I can pull a workout out like that. So I feel like I've grown so much through that as well.
Okay. With regards to the shyness, so you overcame it by now doing these classes and actually working with
Yeah.
yourself. How did you, how do I say it? How did you manage to block all of that out when you were doing the dancing? Because you were doing dancing in front of, yeah.
Yes.
How did you manage to block out?
I think because when you do dancing, you generally do it in a group. So I
Oh,
felt
okay.
more comfortable because you, with your whole team on, not even a team, what do you call it? With your class or your dancing crew on stage. So you don't feel like the spotlight's on you. So I feel like I always try to blend in um, and almost like hide myself a little bit because you're with a crowd of people.
Yeah.
I never ever felt that confident, but yeah, bodybuilding has really made me a confident person. Especially this win, I feel like I'm way more confident. I can speak up for myself a lot more now and stand up for myself as well.
So now, what was going through your head? So you're there and they told you you've won overalls. Did they announce you as the new IFBB Pro or yeah? What was
Yeah,
going through your head at this point in time?
I was like, is this even real? Because when they announced the fifth place, the fourth place, the third place, and they still hadn't called my name, and then it was down to two people. I was like, I didn't even know where to look. I was looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at TD. I'm looking at my coach. I'm looking at the judges. I'm like, whoa, this could be me. And then they called my name. I was like, no way. This
Did you
is
think you
real.
had it?
I didn't know. That's the
Really?
thing. That's the thing because TD wouldn't even tell me like if I'm winning or not because he wants me to stay on
Stay
point
focused. Yes.
and keep that adrenaline pumping. And the thing is, when you're on stage, you can't see how you look
Yeah.
compared to the other athletes because you're standing all in a line and you just trying your best to stay focused, do your absolute best on stage. Only the people that are in the audience and the judges can actually see who's winning and whatnot. But I didn't know how I was doing. So I was honestly a little bit terrified, but
Yeah.
just trying my best, doing my absolute best. I gave it my all. I posed as hard as I could. I held my stage presence. So yeah, I didn't know if I had it or not. And
Yeah.
then they called me. I was like, whoa, it's me. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it.
No. Congratulations again on that.
Thank you.
And are your parents supportive of you doing this bodybuilding thing?
Um, Yeah, they don't. My mom doesn't really. My dad passed away when I was young, so I just have my mom. They don't really understand it as much, but she's fully supportive.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was honestly like the first person that I messaged. I had so many messages, but she was the first person I messaged, sent her pictures, and she called me and she was crying. She was
That's
just
funny. Yeah.
so overwhelmed and so happy and so proud of me. So she's very, very supportive.
That's pretty cool. Okay. So outside of bodybuilding, is there any other hobbies that you have or interests?
I actually studied photography.
Okay.
So I'm a qualified photographer. I used to do a lot of weddings and stuff like that and creative shoots. But, I kind of lost my passion for it because I started it as a hobby and then I ended up going into it to make money out of it. And then I just didn't enjoy it anymore. So I've even sold all my equipment. I don't do photography anymore. So yeah, I do photography. What else do I do? What's else are my hobbies? I don't really have any hobbies. Gym. I love gym.
Yeah.
Gym, anything fitness related, even if it's not bodybuilding. I love yoga. Yeah, I just love fitness. I love women empowerment. So anything that has to do with empowering women,
Yeah.
um, I love that as well.
Have you never thought of well, obviously, well, because you're not a big talker, I was gonna say, have you never thought of giving motivational speeches to women about it?
Well, that's the thing. I feel like this year has pushed me outside my comfort zone a lot. I actually went to a wellness day this year
Okay.
and gave a little speech, which was very out my comfort zone, but I feel like I grew from that situation. Even tomorrow, I'm going to a wedding. I'm a maid of honor and I have to do a speech. So that'll be a first for me. And I feel like I'm growing a lot in that in terms of public speaking. And I have a lot of plans for 2025 to host like women's wellness events, fitness events, and I probably will go into more motivational talking to inspire other women as well.
Okay, nice. And so with the photography thing, do you feel that you lost the passion for it because you were trying to chase money for it and that kind of dampened?
I didn't even try to chase the money. It's just that I got so many opportunities to do photo shoots and stuff like that. That yeah, when you're being offered money, you don't say no. You,
Yes,
as
yes.
as a
Of
businesswoman,
course.
you don't say no
We gotta
if
eat.
exactly you
Yeah.
got bills to pay. But yeah, I feel like I enjoy it now as a hobby.
Yeah.
So I take pictures of my phone and I take videos here and there, but I don't think I would go into it again. Maybe at a later stage in my life, but also I started getting more into fitness and to juggle your time between training, prep, working, and then still I used to use my weekends for doing photography. And doing the photo shoot is one thing, but it's the editing that,
Yes.
as I'm sure you feel, found the same with your podcast.
Yes.
Doing the podcast is easy, but the hours you spend afterwards editing, like I just didn't have time for that anymore because I would have no free time at all.
Yeah.
So that's also why I chose to give it up. I just don't have the time for it anymore.
And then when you got into this whole personal training and coaching thing, did you ever see yourself actually coaching people for the stage, like athletes?
No, I didn't actually.
So
I didn't
what
even
inspired that?
my coach,
Okay.
TD, I think he's helped me. I've learned a lot from him. And every time, like, I'm not sure about something, whether it's nutrition or training, he has always guided me and helped me on that. So I've learned a lot from him as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you guys only coach bodybuilding? I don't
No, no, no. We coach lifestyle
lifestyle.
people
Okay.
as well. And yeah, lifestyle, I find it's a lot easier. And I enjoy that a lot more. I enjoy empowering women. I enjoy helping them find their confidence
Yeah.
because I feel like I was at that point at one stage where I was not confident in myself. I didn't feel strong. I didn't feel like empowered at all. And through fitness, I found my voice. I found my strength. I found who I am. So I try to do the same to help other women and be that person to guide them on that journey that I wish I had when I was on my journey.
What made you struggle with all of this before? Was it something you've had ever since you were a kid?
I've always struggled with shyness.
Yeah.
Even in school, when it came to doing orals and stuff, oh my goodness, I used to pretend to be sick just to get out of doing an oral. I would, fake being sick and stay home the whole day just to not do my oral because I was that shy. So that's taken a lot to grow out
Yeah.
of.
I remember when I did my first oral, I had no idea how to go about this thing. So I remember I drew this big ass B, right, by hand, and then I just
Yes.
labeled it by hand. And I remember going up to seeing all those little heads looking at me, and I was just like, "Yo, why am I standing here?" You know? Yes. But then after a while, when I saw some of the other kids' projects, I was like, "Okay, I can definitely one up this." And then after that, yeah, I was always the better one in the class.
There you
Yeah.
go.
But it was like it took me to see their stuff first to realize, okay, if they can do it, so can I.
Exactly. And I think it goes for anything in life.
Mm.
If someone else can do it, why not you? It's
100%.
the same when it comes to winning the pro card. If other people can win the pro card, why not me?
Yes.
If other people can make it to the Olympia, why not me?
Correct. Yes.
Why not me? So I'm gonna work and I'm gonna make sure I get there.
We want to see you there.
Oh yes, it's gonna happen.
With regards to like your diet and stuff like that, just this is just for the audience out there. Do you have like a variety of stuff that you eat, or do you just stick to like the same protein, same carb, same type of veg the whole time?
I try to have a little bit of variety to keep it interesting. Otherwise, you do get bored of the same food. So for carbs, we generally change it up from rice to potato to whole wheat pasta. Even for breakfast, you change it up from oats to cream of rice for your carbs. And then for proteins, between chicken, red meats, lean mince, eggs, and it's also it forces you to be creative.
Yeah.
Like instead of just having my oats and my eggs on the side, sometimes I'll blend it all together, make a protein pancake. Something as well that I've been trying to or playing around with this week actually is like a protein mug cake,
Yeah.
which is like an egg, your oats, whey protein, peanut butter. You blend it up, put it in the microwave for like a minute to a minute and a half, and it makes this nice little mug cake. It's so delicious.
See, for the audience out there now, that you got no excuse whatsoever. Don't be telling us shit about how boring dieting is. You just heard from Shannon herself.
That's one thing about prep is it forces you to get creative with food.
Yeah. Um, if you could pick one source of protein that you have to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Red meat.
Red meat.
I love red meat. Well, now that we are done with prep, we've been introducing the red meat back in.
So you guys cut it out during prep.
Only closer to the show. But
Okay.
I think we had red meat up till 2 weeks out. Up till 2 weeks out.
Okay. What's the reason that you guys cut it out? Now, before you answer that, because every coach has their different ways of doing things and whatnot like that. So the question I'm asking is mostly obviously for people outside that don't understand bodybuilding.
Because it's quite a dense protein, so
Yeah.
it sits in your stomach for a lot longer and your body takes a lot longer to digest it. So generally when you're starting to get to that point where you are cutting a little bit more and trying to get that conditioning and cut that last little bit of fat, then you switch over to chicken, fish, and egg whites because it's much lighter proteins and your body digests it a lot faster.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people that don't understand that, like that it's actually
Mm.
it's a digestion issue.
It is. It comes
Yeah.
down. I'm just going to take this off. It keeps
Yeah, no,
falling
it's fine.
off.
Okay. And then with the carbs, one that you have to pick for the rest of your life, if you have to eat one. Yes.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Yeah.
Potatoes.
Did you eat quite a bit of it during your prep?
Not really, actually, because the thing is with this prep, the hours that we work and the training and everything, it leaves you with such little time to actually cook.
Yeah.
So rice would be my go-to carb just for ease and the amount of time it takes to cook. It's much quicker.
Okay.
It's less prep time.
What time do you start working and what time do you finish?
Okay, so my day begins at 3:30 every single morning. We wake up at 3:30. I go straight to the kitchen. I make the oats. TD makes the eggs. And then I have my breakfast. I get ready for the day. And then we are out the house by latest 20 to 5. And then we're at the gym 5 o'clock every single day.
And what time do you guys finish?
Okay, so our day is generally split. So we start with our clients at 5 a.m. And then the latest clients I'll take is 10 till 11. So by 11 o'clock every single day, we are done at the gym. And then we back at the gym between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. for our afternoon clients. So last clients of the day is 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. And then the time between 11 and 4, that's the only time we have to ourselves for the day. So that's in that time we go grocery shopping, cook our meals, do our laundry, clean the house, take a nap, which is very important to make it through the day. And yeah, it's a very, very long day.
And then with all of this going on, you still find time to train twice because I presume you do your cardio and your weight training separately. Okay.
So, well, that's the thing. I work around my clients,
Okay.
so I would just train with whatever time I get, especially closer to the show when the training gets a little bit more intense. I'm lucky enough to have clients that are kind of on my fitness level and don't mind that I train with them. So I would train a lot of my workouts with my clients, and then obviously just my cardio time. If it means I have to stay at the gym till 9 o'clock at night, I will do it. If it means I have to give up sleep, I will do it. I did whatever I needed to do to meet my goals for each day.
Okay. The reason I was asking this is because you'll get people that work a 9 to 5 and they'll be like, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to get to gym. So I wanted them to actually see how busy your day is and you still manage to get everything done.
There's some days, even like especially closer to the show, where I'd have 4.5 hours of sleep, maybe 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Yet I'm still up 3:30 in the morning to make my breakfast and start my day. And coffee,
Yeah.
coffee. Thank God for coffee, because
Are you one of those, don't talk to me before I get my cup of coffee?
yes, especially, you know what, even off season, I don't even drink coffee.
Really?
But on prep, I can't make the day without coffee. Coffee keeps me going. It wakes me up in the morning and just keeps me going.
Okay. Yeah. So going back with regards to people that give those kind of excuses.
I believe it's not about having time, it's about making the time. If it's important to you, you will find a way to make the time and to do what you need to do.
Correct. Like you can't honestly tell me that you don't have time. Like how are people in the world being like successful? You know what I mean? Like you, I mean, you achieving the pro card, for example, all right, and still getting up at that time and having that little amount of sleep. You still manage to get all your meals in, get your training in, everything, and still have to put on a smile for your clients. I'm sure you had days where you're just like, "Fuck, I have to be here."
There are those days where
Yeah.
you're just exhausted, where you'd rather be in bed, but you know what? It's life. It's not
Yes.
about what you want to do. Sometimes it's about what needs to be done and doing what needs to be done. And that's where discipline comes in. And I think you can't be a bodybuilder without discipline. You
100%.
can't achieve any goal without discipline. So
100%.
discipline is a very big part of achieving any goal.
No, because I get a lot of people that ask me like, "Where do you get the motivation to do this?" And I try and explain to them, motivation runs out. Then what happens
That's
after?
actually something that people ask me a lot is, how do you stay motivated? Where do you get the motivation? There's a lot of days where I don't have motivation, where I'm like, why am I doing this? You know? But then I remind myself of the bigger picture, that I set this goal for myself and actually I really do want this. So it's not about how I'm feeling in the moment. It's about, what do I want long term? You know?
Correct. But I also find that it's a lot easier if it just becomes part of your everyday life. You don't even think about these things. You know what I mean? It's just like these same people. It's like you leave your home and you drive to work. How did you get there without thinking about anything along the way? So if you start implementing these things, eventually it just becomes part of your life.
Yeah, it becomes like second nature.
Yeah.
And that, I think also routine plays a big role. So time management is a big thing, because obviously if you don't have a lot of free time to yourself, the time that you have to manage it really well and be disciplined. In our break that we get from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., it's very easy to just go home and like sit on the couch and do nothing, or loaf, like you said. But no matter how tired I am, how exhausted I am, you come home, you cook, you make sure your next meals are ready. And that's the thing with bodybuilding. People don't realize how much you cook.
Yeah.
You're literally cooking 2, 3 times a day, every single day. I spent so much time standing in the kitchen. I was thinking of like, is there not a way you can sit down and cook, you know, because your feet get so flippin' tired, especially on prep. You just get so tired of standing.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big thing, is time management.
In that time, are you bulk cooking or are you just cooking for the day?
Well, the thing is, it's hard to bulk cook, because even when you bulk cook, I'm not just cooking for myself, I'm cooking for TD as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we both eat a lot of food. So even if I cook a large portion of food, it finishes like that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So you're literally cooking every day.
Okay. All right. Because I always try and advise people to, if they don't have the time, as they say, just cook so that it can last you
Yeah.
2 to 3 days or something.
That's something we do once in a while.
Yeah.
If the weather's good, we'll take the bra out, and then you just cook like kgs of
Yes.
meat at a time. But even so, even when you cook those kgs of meat, because we eat so much, it
Yes.
doesn't even last that
No,
long.
it doesn't.
Maximum 3 days, and then you're cooking again.
Yeah. But that's okay though. Like 3 days is better than
That's true. It saves you your 3 days of cooking, you
yes.
know,
Yeah.
and then you're only cooking like the carbs or your veggies or whatever. Yeah, veggies as well, as every single day
Yes.
you are cooking, because it goes so quickly.
But that's just time management. That's all it is
That's
really.
it.
Yeah. But if you're sitting in front of, come home from work and you sit in front of the TV and waste time for like 2 hours, then you're like, oh, that
And
was
that's the thing. People say they don't have time, but you have time to watch a movie or series every single day.
well.
You have time to scroll on
I
your
was about to say that's
phone.
one that gives me the shits.
Yeah,
I don't have time for anything but doom scrolling on TikTok.
that's the thing. Like for me, it got to the point at the end where the only time I'm watching any series is when I'm on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
I put my series on to distract myself from what I'm actually doing.
I was gonna get into that next. Like
Yes.
with your cardio, like, do you have a preference of cardio that you do?
So my favorite cardio is the elliptical,
Okay.
but obviously I wasn't allowed to do that during prep. So my cardio options were the Stairmaster or the spinning bike.
Okay. May I ask why you want to do it?
Because obviously the Stairmaster is much more beneficial in terms of conditioning. So it helps condition the legs. I mean, with every step you're taking, you're working your glutes, you're working your hamstrings, you're working your quads. And obviously, wellness is all about the legs. So we wanted to get as much conditioning as possible. Same goes for the cycling. If you look at a cyclist's legs,
Yeah.
their quads are flipping amazing. Um, so the same thing applied there. We wanted to do or stick to the types of cardio that will be most beneficial for the legs.
Sure. And you said that you were watching series. What were you watching during your cardio?
Ooh, I watched a lot of different things. Can't even, I watched movies as well.
Okay.
Um, I watched most recently. I watched Little Mermaid
Yeah.
on Disney Plus. I got through that. What else did I watch? I can't even think right now. I watched a lot. Hours of cardio.
It's just for like because people are like, oh, I can't walk on the treadmill or be on the stairmill for that long.
Just
What do you
distract
do?
yourself. I
Exactly.
also use that time to respond to messages,
Yes.
to post on social media.
Wait, you can do all of that while you. Is that a?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, see.
Unless it gets too intense when TD would come past and put me on the levels or increase my levels on the Stairmaster, then I couldn't be on my phone. But
Yeah.
like when I'm on the spinning bike or if I'm going on a little bit less intensity on the Stairmaster, generally I can multitask and be on my phone, respond to messages, do all those things.
Okay. Yeah, I normally watch stuff when I'm busy doing cardio. Although with me on the treadmill, though, I don't answer any messages because I feel like it's a weird thing that happens. I feel like I'm gonna walk over the edge.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
triple, you need more focus.
Yeah. The stair mall, I don't know. I can only do it for a short period of time. I get these crazy leg pumps and they hurt like hell. It's like almost like I'm under the leg press kind of thing.
Stairmasters. It's not for sissies.
Oh yes. So as a wellness athlete, your training. This is again for the audience out there to understand the different categories. Go about your training for weeks. So like, how do you plan a week's training? Like, is it like a thing of like Mondays legs, Tuesdays like an upper body touch up, Wednesdays legs again, like that kind of thing?
So basically, at 8 weeks out, we cut out upper body training
Okay.
because my upper body tends to lean out a lot quicker than my legs. And I was starting to get striations on my shoulders, whereas my legs were still needing a lot more work. So we cut out upper body training and we were just focusing on legs. And I would do 2 days training, 1 day rest, and then 2 days training, and then an active rest day, which will be like every day I would have like certain compulsory exercises that I would have to do. So I would just do the compulsory exercises, my cardio, and then rest from like a proper full workout, and then back to 2 days training, 1 day off.
Okay. And those 2 days training, splitting muscle groups up. So is it like for example, quads and hamstrings on the month? I'm just using the days,
Yes.
and then Tuesday it'll be like glutes and
Well, glutes was
whatever.
every single day.
Okay,
I did
gotcha.
glutes every single time I was in the gym. I was doing glutes um, because they needed work,
Yeah.
and we knew we needed to bring tight, strong glutes. And I feel like it paid off. All the hard work paid off. And then quads, because my quads start to develop quite quickly. We
Yeah.
only did that like every second day or every second leg workout. But I would still do like leg extension every single day. But like quad focused exercises, we would do like every second day.
Okay,
But
that's pretty
glutes and
interesting.
hamstrings every single day.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So how does even I'm new to this. Okay, so how does peak week work for a wellness athlete?
Well, that's what was interesting
Yeah.
with this show because obviously switching from IFBB now, or IFBB Elite to the NPC, IFBB Elite, they still, even in wellness, they still focus a lot more on your upper body. Like when you do your back pose, you take your hair off your shoulders.
Sure.
They want to see your back. They want to see a little bit more muscle on your upper body. Whereas NPC, they don't really judge you on your upper body. So with peak week for IFBB, we would not train any legs. We would
Yes.
stop training legs 1 week out and then just do like depletion upper body workouts. Whereas now with NPC, it was a very different peak week.
Yeah.
So we trained legs every day up till the Thursday. The Thursday was
That's
our last leg
crazy.
workouts, and it was like everything was like 4 sets of 20 reps,
Yeah.
and you are exhausted. So it's really digging deep, and that's when it gets mentally tough, you know, and that's where you have to really push and see how bad do you truly want this, you
Yes.
know?
Because Dominique was mentioning something about like she trained legs in that week and then like show day and her legs were like still fucked up, but it's like something you just gotta like put aside. Yeah.
Even like I think it was 2 3 weeks out, my legs were just feeling like so exhausted. I felt like they weren't recovering. Everything was just sore. And I told TD like I need a rest day. So he actually let me take a rest day and I felt a lot better afterwards and then I could get back into my training, you know?
That's impressive.
Because it's legs every single day as
Yeah.
wellness. It gets exhausting. You have to love training legs for sure.
And like I trained legs today, I'm tired, I gotta train legs again tomorrow. That's impressive.
Yeah. It's not easy.
With regards to like training the competitive clients, how do you like how do you motivate them into getting into the competitive side of it? Like what? So okay, I come to you and I'm like, okay, Shannon, I want to compete. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Please guide me. Like, where would I? Do you discuss with them like where best suit them or?
Yeah, well, you would have to, obviously, everybody's body is different. And I would take into consideration what are they wanting to achieve? What division do they lack? And are they looking towards? And then also you got to consider looking at their body and where is their body? What division do you think their body would fit into best? So it all depends on the person.
Okay,
Everybody's
and then how do you deal with people who um don't like that kind of like honest opinion? I come to you and you tell me, no, I'm not. I'm still too small for bodybuilding, and I should take another couple of years or take a year off, and then just see about 2026 or something like that. There. How do you deal with people that take that negatively?
then I don't think things for you then because you have to be able to take constructive criticism. Like many times my coach sat me down and said, you know what, this is not working, or you need to cut this out, you need to do this more, and or this is not looking good. I never took it personally, not once, because I know, you know, it's not personal. It's a that you hired your coach to help you along this journey. So you should be thankful for the advice that they're giving you and the feedback that they're giving you, you know?
Correct. Yes, that's for us as seasoned athletes who want and understand. This is unfortunate. This is the not unfortunate. Actually, it's fortunate
This
that
is a
this is what
sport.
you got to hear from somebody in order to better. But I'm saying for you as a coach.
Yes.
So let's say you and I having a conversation. I
Yes.
tell you, I want to compete. You tell me, um, rather do 2026. Let's work this whole year's off season, and then I tell you, actually, I don't like your opinion, and I actually think you've hurt my feelings. How do you, as a coach, deal with those emotions now? That's what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, like personally as yourself as the coach. Now you've heard me say that to you that I don't like what you've told me, and it's hurtful. What keeps you going as a coach to be like, okay, you know what? I still love what I do, and I have to push on with this.
At the end of the day, you know, if that's the case, you're coming to me as a client, you're seeking my advice and my guidance. So when I'm giving you my guidance and my advice, if you don't want to take it, then maybe I'm not the coach for you, you know?
Sure, because you'll get coaches that will just tell anybody anything just because at the end of the day, they just want to make a buck. You know what I mean?
I don't think I would take on just any client. I think we're a little bit more selective about who we take on, and you got to make sure you connect with that person as well.
So would you say you pick reputation over money with your coach with regards to your coaching? Like, would you rather have three damn good clients that um, follow things to the T and excel than to have 30 clients that are just running amok everywhere because you want to get paid?
I'd rather have three incredible clients that trust me completely as their coach, and apply every bit of criticism or guidance that I give them and follow it to the T, than have 30 people that are actually not serious about it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Okay. where do you guys want to go with this coaching? Like, how big do you guys want to get, or do you still want to keep it like at a like a manageable thing?
For me, I don't want to be a huge bodybuilding coach. I
Sure.
think I like the lifestyle training. I like training lifestyle ladies because obviously I only train ladies, um, whereas TD is more into the competitive coaching.
Okay. All right.
I enjoy posing coaching though. I absolutely love um, training ladies how to pose correctly
Yeah.
and how to bring out that confidence on stage. Because I
Okay.
think that's the biggest thing that women lack when it comes to posing on stage is the confidence.
Yeah.
So I love to help them find that confidence and bring it out so that they can be themselves on stage and show their personalities on stage. So for me, I enjoy that more than the bodybuilding coaching as such.
Okay. And do you warn them though that it's like, listen, even though I'm teaching you all these things, once you see all those heads in the crowd, things are a bit different.
Yes,
Yeah.
I teach them all the ways to deal with the
Yeah.
nervousness, deal with the yeah, deal with the nerves on stage, deal with maybe getting a little bit flustered on stage,
Yeah.
and the stage fright. So I have my techniques and the ways that I teach them and how to deal with that.
Because when I did my novice show, I was like super excited. I mean, I had the guys teach me in the gym how to pose and everything, and I was super excited. And I remember now when they called my name and I went out, I remember looking around. Now I'd lost the whole rhythm of the music and everything because I walked in. I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of people here. Yes.
When you're on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you motivation is such a wrong word, but people like it. But how do you motivate your clients to like stay on diet? Let's say I phone you tomorrow
Yes.
morning and I'm like, oh, Shannon, I messed up real bad. I ate this, and that, 12 Krispy Kremes and Spur and everything like that.
Is that I like to use the analogy of
You fucked up.
besides that, um, to put it lightly, I wouldn't say it directly like that, but I like to use the analogy of when you get a flat tire on your car, you're not going to go pop all the other tires just because you're upset that you got a flat tire. Instead, let's change that tire and keep going forward. So the same applies to when you do mess up on your diet or you mess up badly or you make a mistake, put it behind you. There's nothing you can do about it now. It's done. Just let it be in the past and let's move forward and focus on just improving. How can we do better? How can we prevent this from happening again?
That is wow. That is actually brilliant. I've never actually heard anybody use that analogy.
Mm. That's my favorite way to say it.
I'm stealing it.
Go for it. If it helps someone, go for it.
Awesome. All right, and then in the future, do you see yourself being a mom one day?
Definitely, I would like to have children, but obviously, it's not a priority for me
Yeah.
now. I have my own goals and my own aspirations that I want to achieve first. So there's a lot of things I want to achieve first before I even think of bringing a human life into this world.
No, that's no, of course, definitely tick all the boxes first
Yes, because I come first.
yes.
It's my life, not some unborn born child. That's not even a thought at this point.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's great.
mm,
Let's say you get to the Olympia.
when,
Yes. Well, that's what I was saying.
when,
Yeah, okay.
not if, when. It's gonna happen. I'm manifesting it.
How many would you like?
How many what?
Titles.
Titles. Whew. At this point, just to make it there on that stage.
That's not a good enough answer for me.
The TD says the same thing. He says, if you're going to make it there, why are we not looking at just winning? So, yeah, I don't know at this point. I think we'll have to see where life takes me, where things end up going.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. And you don't have any sponsors or anything.
Not as yet, but we are looking. We are open to sponsors.
Okay. You guys out there, you heard that? If you could change one thing about the South African bodybuilding scene, what would that be? Anything.
Mm. The scene in general.
Just the scene in general. Whether it's a specific federation or across all federations or people in the sport, just anything you could just change.
Well, in certain federations, I would like to see more fairness. I think one thing that the NPC has gotten right is the fact that they don't allow any of the judges to be coaches. So I think in other federations, I don't want to name any federations, but they allow the judging panel to also be coaches, and there'll be people on the judging panel that have athletes up on stage. So obviously, I feel that the judging is going to be biased. It's not going to be fair. Whereas NPC is a very strict rule that you can't be a coach and be a judge, which
Yeah.
makes it more fair. And I feel like the judging is way more fair in NPC.
You can whisper it in my ear. I'll say it.
But anything I would change, I feel like the bodybuilding community is it's quite small, but it's very supportive. I would love to see it grow more in South Africa, and I would love to see more athletes supporting each other and helping each other grow in the sport, so that if one of us makes it and grows, then we all benefit. For example, Muzi now, he came seventh in the Olympia, and the thing about South Africa is the way we support each other. To see how the whole of the South African bodybuilding community was so supportive of him and everybody came together to support him. I would like to see more of that.
Okay, fair enough. I kind of it's hard because there's so many people that are disingenuous in this sport. So I don't really know how many people really supported him because he went there, or they supported him because they wanted him to fail.
Yeah, that's not right. I don't feel that people should be like that.
No, they shouldn't. But unfortunately, this is how they are. And I'll definitely say, you know what, that bothers me about actually just South Africa in general, right? He went there to represent South Africa. But when he walked through the airport, he walked through just like the rest of us who just went to go visit family. Like, why was there nobody standing there? You know the way they stand for the Protea athletes and whatever. At the end of the day, he's still representing us. And I think that's one of the biggest problems I feel with South Africa is that we don't stand for each other in different sports. It's just like football and rugby are like popular, so that's it.
Yeah, I would love to see bodybuilding grow in South
Yeah.
Africa.
Or it would actually be cool if we could actually all, if we really like support one another. It's like if we helped each other. I mean, let's just say, for example, now you're going to go do your pro debut, and it's like, oh, let's all support Shannon, let's clap together, let's try. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Where it's like a thing of like, she's never gonna make it, and blah blah blah. And
Yeah, and that's the
fuck her.
thing.
You know?
People can be so unsupportive behind your back. I mean, even starting this bodybuilding journey, when I expressed to certain people that I worked with that I wanted to compete, it wasn't a good response. It wasn't received well.
Yeah.
I had people that just didn't believe in me, people that told me I would never make it, that I didn't have the genetics for bodybuilding, that I would embarrass myself on stage. I've heard it all. But you know what? I feel like I used that as motivation actually to prove everyone wrong, which I did.
Yeah. But how many of those people? How many of those people did you wake up to their messages on Monday morning?
Actually, a few of them,
Exactly.
yeah, a
Exactly.
few of
Yeah.
them actually telling me, "Oh, you proved us wrong." Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. If they said that, then my hats off to them. Okay, now I thought you were expecting like people would be like they said all of that, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, well done. We knew you could make it." And it's like, no, dickhead. I remember back then when I was in the gym, you told me my legs are too small, and this and that.
Yeah. No, I did have actually if my first show I wanted to do was 2019, and I think I was 2 weeks into that prep, and that's when I started getting negative comments when people started finding out that I was going to compete or wanted to compete, and that's when I started hearing things like, "You don't have the genetics for it," or yeah, you don't, you're too fat, I heard. Which obviously, if you're starting a prep, you're not going to be lean yet. You got to work to being lean. And it was just a lot of negative comments. I feel like people didn't want to see me succeed. And I actually didn't follow through with that prep because I let it get to me on an emotional level. And then 2020, I tried to compete again. I was 2 weeks out from my first show, and then COVID hit. And then, yeah, 2021 is when I actually got to compete. And even that prep, because I was in an unsupportive environment, I kept that prep a secret, and I prepped in silence. The only people that knew was the people that were really close to me, as well as TD knew. He was just my friend at the time, but he knew and he supported me throughout that whole prep. Um, and yeah, only like 2 weeks out, the people that were unsupportive, they actually found out that I was going to compete. But then it was too late. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't say anything. I was going to do it regardless.
How do you overcome the messages. Let's say you open your phone now on Instagram and like there's all these congratulations. Then there's this one asshole there's always one of them that has this message there like, you got lucky or whatever the case. Or like
There actually was a comment like that from one of the ladies that stood in my lineup.
I wish I fucking saw it.
You saw it?
I wish I did.
Oh no, I've got the screenshots. Anyway, and I was actually surprised to see how many people stood up for me in the comments. But they were basically saying that I wasn't, or I don't know what pro wants to be smooth or whatever, saying I wasn't conditioned enough. But
Wait, is she there?
She stood on the stage and yeah, to throw fingers, and just because you didn't win, she actually came last in her lineup, just saying. But then to point fingers and say that actually I wasn't conditioned and stuff, then why did I win? Why did I win my pro card if I wasn't conditioned, you know?
Yeah.
And what does that say about you? Why not look at yourself and see, how can I improve as an athlete? Because obviously you came last in your lineup. How can you improve as an athlete, instead of looking at the person that won and try to bring them down? And that's the thing with bodybuilding. It is a very self-focused sport, and that also comes down to your character as well. How do you take a loss? Because obviously you're not going to win every single show. There's going to be shows where you don't get the result that you want, but how you take that is up to you. Are you going to take it in a way that, how can I improve and do better so that I can actually win next time? Or, oh no, that person, they didn't deserve to win, the judges let them win. Or, you're finding excuses. That's being a sore loser. And I feel like you should be a good sportsman in this sport. So even if you don't win, congratulate the person that did win. Say that, well done, well deserved. Because obviously whoever did win, even if you brought the best that you could be, if someone else wins, then that means that they were just better. And that's okay. It's part of the sport. You just got to take it in a positive way. I was actually really pleased to see how people were defending me in the comments. But also sad to see in the comments how so many people go along with it. The people that weren't there, oh, I don't know how the judges are wanting a smooth look. You looked phenomenal. It's unacceptable.
How do they judge it off pictures? This is the other thing.
Exactly. The judges will judge upon what they see. So if you feel you looked a certain way, the judges are saying something else, then maybe you need to reassess how you're looking. I don't know.
The reason I'm asking is because I remember when I wanted to first start getting into making all the funny videos, and because I didn't want to do the whole thing of protein shakes, creatine, flex muscle shit, So I went the whole route of trying to make people laugh. And I remember the first time I actually met Abongila, he's like, "Hey, there's the funny bodybuilder." That's what he actually called.
Yeah.
But I remember when I put my first video out and somebody said something, and I was like, "Yo, maybe this isn't a good idea," And I felt like that. And then I remember speaking to Dio, and then also in that week, there's another bodybuilding podcast that I watched, and they said that this one guy mentioned of all 100 good comments, right? It's a negative one. It's the one that you only seem to focus on. It's a weird thing, So I was just asking, how do you overcome that?
So I mean, even if you think about, when you look in the mirror, you're gonna ignore all the good things about yourself, and you're only going to focus on the flaws. So it's all about your mindset and what you choose to focus on. If you choose to focus on the negative things, that's all you're going to see. And I think that goes into every area of life. If you focus on the positive things, you'll see more positive things. If you focus on the negative things, you're only going to see more negative things. So it's all about how you choose to focus, or how you choose to frame your mind and your mindset.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Some less serious questions. Just going to do a quick run through of a couple of questions. All right. Right. Favorite cheat meal?
Whew, that is a tough one.
It's supposed to be quick, Shannon.
Okay, pizza.
What type of pizza?
Hawaiian. Pineapple does belong on pizza.
Thank you.
Please comment.
Someone didn't fall into the bandwagon of
Pineapple.
Okay. Yes. Awesome. Favorite exercise?
Hip thrusts. Easy one. I love hip thrusts.
Okay. Favorite cardio?
Elliptical, just because my coach says it's lazy cardio, but I like it. You literally don't have to lift your feet. It's the best.
Spoon or fork?
Spoon.
Okay. Favorite dessert?
Well, that's also a tough one. I'm stuck between donuts, ice cream, and cake. Why not all three? Put them together.
High five. Okay. Favorite movie of all time?
Whew. I don't think I have a favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, favorite series?
Favorite series? I don't know. I watch so many and then I don't revisit them, to be honest. Although one that I do enjoy is True Blood. I don't know if you. It's
Okay.
an old series, but I love True Blood.
That's amazing.
Mm.
Favorite cartoon growing up?
Favorite cartoon growing up? That's a tough one too. I like SpongeBob.
All right. Who's your favorite character, by the way?
My favorite
Character.
in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
Ah, damn. I was hoping you were going to say Patrick. Okay.
But I like SpongeBob. He's cool.
Okay. One meal in your diet, if you had to pick to eat for the rest of your life going forward. Now, remember, this meal that you're going to pick is going to be all your meals. So how many meals do you have in a day? Six. Six. So this is for all 6 meals. You're going to have this meal for the rest of your life. Right?
Does it have to be a prep meal?
Yes. Something that's on your diet.
Protein oats.
Protein oats.
Perts
Okay.
is my favorite meal of the day.
Okay.
Peanut butter.
Okay. If you are only allowed one source of protein, besides, okay, because you've mentioned protein oats, but if you're only allowed one source of protein, what would it be?
Steak.
Steak. Okay. All right. Awesome.
Nice dense steak.
Okay. Any other divisions that you admire besides wellness? If you had to pick for yourself.
Oh, from that I would do.
Yes. Let's just say it wasn't an option. Let's say there's no such wellness and you had to pick one of those.
Ooh, I would probably go into figure.
Okay.
I think it's nice. I like the muscle.
Yeah.
I do like muscle on a woman. And I still think the posing is very feminine, very sexy. And I like the look. I like the look of a figure.
Okay. All right. And then last one is, if you had to choose one exercise that you had to do for the rest of your life, what would that be? One exercise. Like, so that you're going to the gym today, tomorrow, whenever, and you're just doing this exercise.
Walking lunges.
Walking lunges.
Because it's so beneficial. You're literally working glutes, hamstrings, quads, you're using your core. It's such a beneficial exercise. I would do it every day.
Okay.
I do it most days anyway.
All right. Awesome. So for the audience out there that want coaching from you, how do they get hold of you?
You can drop me a DM on Instagram.
What's your handle?
It's used to be Coach Shannon Leigh, but now it's Shannon Leigh _ IFBB Pro. Yes, let's take a moment to let that sink in. Yeah, so drop me a DM and yeah, let's chat.
Okay. And other ways to contact you besides Instagram, or is it just Instagram? Like, is it Facebook?
I don't. Yeah, you can do Facebook as well, TikTok as well. TikTok is Coach Shannon Leigh. I don't just give my number out. So rather contact me on one of my.
I have weirdos messaging you after this.
You can contact me on Instagram or TikTok, and then we'll chat from there.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
All right. Thank you.
Thank